Idofino shared this David Schwartz video, which I have never seen before. It's 43 seconds long and talks about how hundreds of billions of dollars worth of real world assets will be added to the XRP system. I'll play this for you all. Also want to show one more clip for David Schwartz. Finally, I'd like to tie everything together here. This movie won't be very long, but please watch it. How big do you think your share of the Swiss market will be in the next 5 years? Hedging against changes in the prices of goods is a multi-trillion-dollar business. There's a huge market for people who need to get paid for goods before or after they deliver them and want to protect themselves from price changes. I think foreign cash is the bigger market for that. When it comes to XRP's books, it will be faster to do business. There will be more normal transaction fees, and there won't be any smart contracts. That means you don't have to deal with all the security and vulnerability problems that come with smart contracts. Let's hope there's a lot of cash so that people can change the assets they use to do that. But I think if you take a quick listen, it's hard to tell who is asking David Schwartz questions. If you don't know what that is, there is a closed captioning button on YouTube that should work and let you hear what this man is saying. This is hard for me to do because it's not on YouTube yet, so I can't add closed captions to this tweet. If you're interested, please turn that on. Most of the time, it doesn't work. Which record is most important? And it will be interesting to see what really makes people compete. A good example is the land registry. Want to interact with other things on the ledger that much at first. So from the register's point of view, it doesn't matter what ledger it's on. I'm not sure if they'll be the drivers, but I'm hoping that low-cost, predictable transactions and not having to manage and maintain smart contracts will be better ones. You can guess what will happen with the print records, but it's hard to say for sure because, as we've already said, many small things will add up to one big thing. Some blockchains are harder to understand than others. For example, so much is really hard on it because they have to use the charting features and it moves so quickly and has such a high transaction line. I think those who make it harder to see and hear what's going on will actually be at a disadvantage in this space because they make it harder to understand what's going on. That's really cool because Solana is split up into shards. It might be harder to examine. That's something I never even thought of. A lot of people think Solana is better than XRP. Do you think Solana is a group for meme coins? About 90% of the volume on Solana is made up of meme coins. There's a lot of work to do on Solana and a lot of people who want to buy and sell it. If you didn't buy it when it was $15.00, it was probably around the end of 23 or something. Are you buying Slon at $150.00? I think Sui is probably the better option right now, but you should talk to your financial advisor. I can only tell you what I'm doing at $150.00 or whatever on the buying line. Buying more underground, it will be good. That there will be a real reason to pick one ledger over another. Finally, the funding sources will be able to be connected. One last question. How much of this money do you think you can get in the next 5 years? That's what the question was. How much fast traffic can the XRP system handle in the next 5 years? I think that soon there will be assets worth hundreds of billions of dollars that have been tokenized. I think the reason is silly, but I'll assume it's so that it can be checked. The big problem with accounting right now is that you can do it if I give you a bunch of records and tell you to. I think that very soon tokens will be used to lock up advertising assets worth hundreds of billions of dollars. I think it's silly, but I'll take any reason for this because you can be sure that I'm just disappearing. For most things, except the letter, it's easy to show that I'm not on a blockchain. It's also easy to show that you can do that over and over again. Okay, if you send an auditor request, I'll get a bill for everything he has to do to answer it. You also can't keep auditing him because he'll get mad. But you can monitor blockchains all the time. That will be the mean, even though I know that's stupid. That's just what these companies find mind-boggling, what the process would be like too, man. You don't have to use a third party to hide your activities and build up your credit score with inspectors. That will be the mean. Every day in space, you learn something new that amazes me. I can't wait to share it with you, man. Wow, this is a lot of fun. This is a clip I haven't used in any of my movies. Apex 2025 was last month, but here's a short video from David Schwartz that only lasts 3 minutes. I wasn't ready to play with this until I knew a little more about it. I played a 60-second clip first, but here's a 3-minute video. I sometimes feel that way because I'm David Schwartz and I feel like I have a deep connection to what's going on in Accept the Ledger space. It's actually very emotional and moving for me to see what it's become after more than 10 years. Could you have predicted that this is the direction it would take when you set out to build it? I hope it grows into something big and meaningful, but there's no way to know for sure. That's why I have to surprise people all the time. You can see there are a lot of people from different parts of the Ripple ecosystem here at Apex 2025. There are big players, you and I talked about them, small players, and people who are just adding to the chain. Tell me, what does it mean to see people from very different points of view work together in the community? That's what I like about Apex. It was originally meant to be a place for developers to share technical information and talk about plans for future growth. It then expanded to include people who owned XRP and people who were just interested in the space and technology. This year, you can see people from institutions who want to bring things like, I agree that putting real world assets on the blockchain as tokens is the big change. That's what I think will start the next wave of acceptance and the real mass growth we all want to see in the new ideas that are being made. You help make the change. I'd like to get inside your head for a minute. What are some of the most important new things on the XRP ledger? If DeFi and blockchain are going to really take a bite out of the multi-trillion-dollar trading market, I think it needs to offer financial services that regular people need. I mean, collecting things is fun and betting on very risky assets is interesting, but loans are what people need from a financial system. Fees, smart investments, retirement plans, and all of those other things. I find it most interesting when new ideas help put those pieces together. What does it take to get there? From a technical point of view, I think the most important thing is being able to deal with coined real estate assets and loan holdings.